Hey guys, and welcome back to another update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you are watching Boyd News. So I wanted to bring you an urgent update regarding Israel. This picture right here is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and this story that we have here is regarding the fact that the United States is worried that Benjamin Netanyahu may wage war on Hezbollah, excuse me, due to his political gain. Because right now, Benjamin Netanyahu is actually doing really bad in the polls. He's fallen sharply recently, so he's not doing well in the polls, and basically his career is hanging in the balance, and he may need a war in with Hezbollah to maintain his political dominance. And right now, in how things are going in Gaza, they're not going well. And there was just that recent Supreme Court uh, judicial reform that got shot down. He was trying to make some changes for his own benefit, and it didn't go his way. So things are not looking good for him. And whenever you have a prime minister who's in this kind of position, you're most likely going to see more war. In Gaza right now, there's been well over 22,000 people that have been murdered, and up to almost 50,000 people that have been injured. So, the atrocities that are going on in Gaza right now are just absolutely insane. Um, there's just so many people there that are being murdered and displaced, and it's terrible what's happening. I understand that the Hamas terrorists had attacked Israel back on October 7th with their operation, and they killed a lot of Israelis, and it was an unfortunate situation, and it shouldn't have happened. But the Hamas terrorists they're not done with yet. Israel's still dealing with them. I believe they're wrapping up their operations on the northern side of Gaza, but they still got the south side of Gaza that they need to deal with. So that operation is going to last for a while, guys. It's not going to be over anytime soon. But it does seem like they're winding it down a little bit. Israel has been pulling some troops away from Gaza as well. And I mean, I think it might be in preparation of attacking Hezbollah, but unless we see some major escalation happening soon with Hezbollah, I think they might wait until they're finished with Gaza before Hezbollah is attacked. So let's go ahead and get into this article here. So, yeah, the U.S. is worried that Netanyahu could wage war on Hezbollah for his political gain. White House officials are concerned that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu could initiate a full blown war against the Hezbollah terror group in Lebanon in order to save his own political career, according to a Sunday report. If the Gaza war ends tomorrow, Netanyahu's political career will end with it, incentivizing him to broaden the conflict, anonymous U.S. officials told the Washington Post. Netanyahu has dipped sharply in opinion polls since the war with Hamas began, with the public evidently attributing to him a significant portion of the blame for the failures that enabled the terror group's October 7 massacres. So he is being publicly blamed for the failures. So some of the failures were like when these Hamas terrorists just walked in to Israel, and they were not even detected for the longest time. And I believe it took about 5 hours before anybody even responded to these attacks. And, Hamas was able to just walk in and terrorize people and kill babies and just do all kinds of terrible things. And then on top of that, take a bunch of hostages back with them to Gaza. So he's definitely being blamed for that. And the prime minister will continue to take the necessary steps to secure Israel and its future. Senior Israeli government official responded to the U.S. outlet when asked if Netanyahu's political calculations are driving his military decisions. Multiple senior Israeli leaders have repeatedly said Hezbollah must be driven away from the Israel Lebanon border, in accordance with UN Security Council Resolution 1701 from 2006, vowing that if this isn't achieved via diplomacy, it will be done militarily. So, again, they will. I've mentioned this before in other videos. Israel will push Hezbollah away from the border militarily if they have to. If they have to go in there and move them out themselves, they will do it. So expect this to happen with Netanyahu's political career hanging in the balance, and then Hezbollah refusing to move away from the border. And there was also a ceasefire that was a deal that was brokered recently. Hezbollah they declined to accept that peace deal. So Hezbollah has no intentions of stopping their attacks. So they're going to continue attacking Israel, and at some point, Israel's going to have no choice but to move in and push out Hezbollah and maybe even potentially attack Lebanon as a whole. So there's a lot of craziness going on over there right now. Lots of destabilization within Lebanon. And Israel's not looking too good either, and we'll see what happens with this. But it does appear that things are starting to wrap up down there in Gaza, at least in northern Gaza. They're starting to complete their invasion of the northern Gaza Strip. So I believe now they're focusing most of their operations down south, and they've taken quite a few thousand of their troops and moved them back to Israel. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen down there in Gaza. But here's another story that I wanted to share as well about Lebanon. So just today, apparently, at the Lebanon airport, it appears that the screen displays were hacked, and they displayed a message for Hezbollah. These were anti-Hezbollah groups or domestic anti-Hezbollah groups, I should say, that hacked these screens in the airport, and they left a message on there that said Hassan Nasrallah, which is the leader of Hezbollah. You will no longer have supporters if you curse Lebanon with a war for which you will bear responsibility and consequences. So again, even here, even Hezbollah is being pressured. They're being pressured as well not to engage with Israel. They don't want a war. I think Lebanon overall doesn't want war with Israel. I don't think anybody wants war with each other. But when you have these terror groups that that's all they want that's why they're called terror groups. They want to create terror in other countries, and it's just it's unfortunate, but it's going to escalate. It's going to escalate. More than likely, Hezbollah is not going to move away from the border, so Israel's going to have no choice but to move in. And I think with Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister, with his issues of his political career, that's only going to influence him even more to have to do this. And I think they're going to have no choice, because they're, again, like I said, they're civilians in northern Israel can't even move back into those areas until they clear it out and make it safe for them to move back in. So expect things to escalate over there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a war over here with the Hezbollah pretty soon and Israel. So I'll keep an eye on it, and if there's any other updates, I will let you guys know. So that's the latest on Israel with Benjamin Netanyahu and the IDF, and we'll see what happens here in the near future. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and God bless.